Wednesday morning, I think it is. I think Ian's just showing a red tractor guy around. I'm going to shoot to Stoneleigh Park to do, I think I'm doing a panel discussion for FCN, and then also filming something for Yellow Wellies when I get there. Morgan's moving some straw around, and he's going to have a go at repairing that bucket, or unless Rob had to go at repairing that bucket, I'm not sure. Look at that, it looks like a July sky. It's wet like, but it's obviously a cracking day. And Morgan's sorted this out. We've got some OSR straw that we'll keep because that'll do for chipping, and then there's some various different grades of straw in there that was a little bit damp when we baled it, so we just left it on this floor because you get a little bit of ambient heat sometimes when we're drying. Well, we blew it for a few days, then we just left it because the ambient heat allows it to dry a bit better. So there should be a couple of load in here. We'll get all this emptied out, and then we've got room then for dry and chip on this floor. Now at Stoneleigh Park, which is the Pripyat of England. So it used to be once a thriving exhibition park. We used to have the Royal Show here in the summer, and now there's not really a lot happens here. NFU have some buildings right at the very back. Anyway, we'll go and see what's going on at this. They're doing a talk for FCN in a bit. Bumped into this guy. You might see him about. And we just walked through. We've been to 2 stands already and heard terrible stories on both stands. So you two were at Sarah and Annabelle. They were at the Midland Machinery Show last week, and tell us what happened.
So we had 3 or 4 farmers that were so upset on our stand. They were even crying, and it turned into more of a therapy session than we were talking about our varieties. To be honest, like everyone was in such a bad place, and it was really worrying to see. Yeah, and we just been talking to
Hannah from Bridgewater Construction or
Buildings. We'll find her in a bit, and she said the same thing, because the first thing that's stopped on farms at the moment is investment, and she's had people in bits because they've just stopped in the tracks.
So we tears with her.
We really need to get this thing reversed. Right, so we've talked to Hannah before, and then obviously we've just been across to DSV. The first 2 stands we went to, when we went over to DSV, you don't know this, but I'm going to tell you now. They said exactly the same as what you said. When they were at the Midland Machinery Show last week, they had farmers actually in tears with the state of what's going on at the moment. Yeah. Do you want to do 30 seconds of what you found as well?
Yeah. Basically, what I was finding when people were coming up to the exhibition stand, it was very confused, not sure what to do, not sure the impact of how this is going to, impact them personally on the farm. And I had one customer come up to me that I've known for 4 years, 4 years, and he just literally was in tears. Really stressful situation. His mum hasn't passed anything over, and his mum's not very well, and it's all over the place at the moment. So the thing is, he doesn't know the impact. If his mum passes away, what is going to actually happen to him? And I think the impact is the fact that his farm itself is worth about 12 million. So for him, he hasn't got that in the bank. It's all in buildings, it's in machinery, it's in the land. So he feels now he's completely going to be disabled if this continues, because he's not sure which way it's going to happen or which way it goes. There we go.
I will just add, so you're pretty qualified for talking to people about this situation, aren't you? Because what was your previous job?
Yeah, personal previous job, I'm a psychologist. So basically for me, I obviously dealt with counselling and psychotherapy, and for me, one thing I did do is things like person-centred practice counselling, and also for me, I'm integrative. So what I used to do was speak to customers about mental health and well-being, and what I was going to say is, you do need to have a little look at these. The Yellow Wellies charity, Ollie, is that right?
Yeah, Yellow Wellies.
So, the Yellow Wellies charity. So if you are in crisis or you are struggling, reach out to them. And I also know there's a couple of others that you guys do.
So FCN's obviously the other one, and that is why I'm here, because we're doing a panel discussion on there based around the terrible harvest, because this was arranged before we knew about the terrible budget. So anyway, thank you, Hannah.
No problem. We love Ollie.
Bridgewater
Construction,
there we go.
UK Limited.
There you go. Shameless plug. Yeah, or just if you see her at a show, have a whinge. She's qualified.
Exactly, I'm qualified to talk to you. Most importantly, don't sit there on your farm looking out to the field and questioning what you can do with it. Pick up the phone, have a conversation. We're all here together to work together to help you diversify. Some of these sheds behind me don't have grain in them. They don't. Some of them have sports cars in them. Some of them have paddle tennis in them, would you believe? gyms, facilities, different things. There is a way to diversify and to scale up and to make your farm money, okay? So you hang on in there, and anytime you want to give me a call, I'm always available. So thank you very much.
So that was a long 45 seconds. I'm on the DEFRA stand with Alice, and she's just been explaining that although the capital grants have stopped today, it's because they were overwhelmed and they will be coming back out next year. And if you've been accepted, is that right? Don't worry, because you'll still get it.
If you've made an application and that application has been accepted, your agreement will continue as you currently understand it. If you have made an application and you do not have an agreement yet in place, those will be reviewed in the new year and RPA will be in touch.
There you go. So loads of people have rung me today saying that they've ordered machinery or they were doing something and they were worried that they weren't going to get the grant through. But it is still there if you've been accepted. But they've paused taking applications until next year, until they've restocked, because it was quite popular. So try not to panic too much. Jonathan hiding.
Always hiding.
So come on, what's this fabulous spray behind you?
It's our demonstrator, RB55.
Is it?
Yeah.
And when was it built?
We've just finished it actually, yeah. So it's come straight to this show and then it's going on to Lama.
And will it have different colour wheels at Lama?
Unfortunately, yeah.
So there we
It's
go.
got the black wheels on. It'll have the black wheels on. And is it a Lions tyre?
Yep.
Lions tyres.
So we obviously saw it on Friday and it was a bit muddy, but look how shiny it is now. You can see your face in it. And even the cab's clean. In fact, if we go around here, we'll get like a great angle of it. Yeah, I've never been to CROPTEC before, but they've got a little bit of machinery. I think it's the last one now. I think next year they're merging it with Lama. That's reminds me of a BMX. Complicated drill. And then we've got a SAM sprayer. I always thought they were orange, but it does look quite red today. Look at them wheels. In fact, you're the only one that's not got black wheels today. They're grey. Graphite. Then we've got Agrifac here, which has got matte black. Is it? It's massive, that, isn't it? Pretty close to that pillar, isn't it? That's very close. We've got John Deere as well over there. Can you hit? What, you can slow it down?
No, you do slow motion.
Oh, right, okay, I'll do it in slow motion. So these are the nozzles that are going out. Can you see the pulsing or hear that the pulsing? Let me put it in slow motion. So I slowed it down then. You can see that that one pulses opposite to that one, and then that one pulses the same as that. So you don't get any misses, but the idea is it's so many times a second that you've got a consistent spray pattern anyway. But you can change your speed, shut the nozzles off in sections, like one section at a time, rather than like 6 meter sections, and keep the pressure exactly the same, so the nozzle is always putting exactly the right spray pattern out. Got the big Amazon one here. I think that might have been the one that I drove, isn't it? And you've got the John Deere one. On Alliance tyres.
Go with that, so if you could all welcome them up, please, that would be great.
Just finished at Stoneleigh Park. Now I am at the, what's it called now? I forgot what it's called. I think this is called Stoneleigh as well. To see Ed from Fendt. So this is the Fendt HQ, or AGCO headquarters, should we say? Yeah, it's literally round the corner from Stoneleigh Park where I've just been. don't know where the door is though. Well, the fence there. This is Ed's desk and he's got some cool photos and pictures. And even a nice calendar. Just leaving the Fendt HQ. Got a calendar and a little present for James. And some boxer shorts for Morgan because he lost them, didn't he, at Agritechnica. I don't think they're his size though, to be honest. I met a lady, Emma Honey from Snow, which is a dealership in Devon, which is where we were last week. I don't think I've ever met anyone with the surname Honey before, so I thought it was pretty cool. A real honey. Back from Stoneleigh, back from Fendt HQ in the UK. Morgan's been fixing that bucket today. He's got some videos, here it is.
Right, so we're in the workshop. I've been asked to time lapse this, but I don't really know how to time lapse. I think I need a stand. I don't know how to stand. So I've missed a bit here because whatever reason. So I've welded that on there. A couple shackles. Got this come along from one of the engineering lads down around Nicky's, around the back there. And I've changed it to the back there. I've ratcheted it down because the bucket was like, this was peeled back there like a banana. So I've cut off all the, cut off all the excess stuff that was welded on there. See it there? Big plate. So cut that off, ground it all out, and I pulled it together now, and I'm going to use a dog. Well, I call it a dog, I don't know what else calls it. And I'm going to pull these pieces of metal. If you look there, they're not in a line. So this bottom piece here is that way, this is this way. So we need to like square them up together, and then we'll tack it, and we'll probably, we might put a bit of a backing plate in there to weld it all up. And then we'll run a bead along here and put a fish plate on top there, re-weld all of that, and then so the bucket strength, a lot of it comes from this here. This is a big bloody, there's that 20mm strip there, so it's folded over, so there's a lot of strength in that, so we need to build that back up and make sure that this is strong. So that's what I mean by a dog. So it's just a, well, nut welded around a piece of scrap, and I'm using it to drive the bucket in that way. So you can see now it's fairly straight. So I'm just gonna probably tack it there and there, maybe lay a few tacks along here, grind it again, grind through the tacks a bit, weld over the top, flush it, fish plate it, back plate here, and we'll be cooking with gas then. Right, so missed a few steps, because I forgot to record. But so I've put a fish plate on there, fish plate there. So you can see it, the ends are always radiused on these fish plates. So there's no, it doesn't transfer the load anywhere we don't want it to. So you see, like, it's just going to continue transferring it all the way around. Where if we had a square, what we'll do is it'll transfer it out, and it'll go to like a stress rise at the very end and a fracture, and it'll start to crack around the corner maybe. So you can see the other plate that was previously there, that's what that had done. So it was radiused on the end, flat here, so it cracked there, which is just how fish plates work. So we've welded up there, welded in there on that side uphill. Gonna cut this off now. Cut that off, and I also welded over there. It was just a crack, same place really, just there. Welded that up, but it wasn't nearly as bad as all this side. But you can see this side from the cab, so you always give it a bit more stick.
Proper job. Anyway, Ian's done the birthdays.
Stephen Mason is 40, Rich Crickwell is 57, Andrew Murphy is 30, Sarah George, happy birthday to you, and Sam Ray, thanks for the donation. Just to say thanks. £80,822 raised for the North West Air Ambulance, and if you want to be on there's a link under every video.
Thanks for that, Ian. That's about all for today anyway. I am off to the Tyne Grain AGM tomorrow afternoon, where I've got to do a presentation, so I'm going to make it now on the laptop. Yeah, so if you made it this far today, thank you. And it was really nice to see lots of people today. at the, I forgot where it'd been, CropTech show. A lot of people chatting about the London event that they were there as well. So it's really nice to see put some names, put some faces to the faces that were in the crowd, if you will. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.